Welcome back to Wilso's Reviews, and today I am going to review the newly released film Kong Skull Island. I watched this film yesterday, and it is a new edition from Warner Brothers, who gave it to Legendary Films, who also did the newly made Godzilla film in 2014, and it is another monster film in the MonsterVerse kind of. So, Kong Skull Island, what is this film about? Well, if you hear the word Kong, you're probably going to think there's going to be a giant ass monkey in this film. And there is, but there's a little bit more to it. There is a lot of these other people, half of them scientists, half of them soldiers. And they are all based of John Goodman's, who in his case is trying to look for some particular set of people to take with him on this expedition. He wanted to go to this island of Skull Island and just check it. Like throw seismic charges down to see to do some scientific research. I don't really know what the whole basis of it was, but you'll find out later on what his real intentions was, and then throughout that film, and it just continues on. So, in this film, you have John Goodman, who plays William Randa, and then you have Samuel L. Jackson, who plays Preston Packard. Tom Middleston, who plays James Conrad. Brie Larson, who plays Mason Weaver. And John C. Reilly, who plays Hank Marr. So, in this film, they are on an expedition onto Skull Island to figure out, just what's going on and just to explore. But in this case, they're using these seismic charges to lure out a big-ass giant monster, hence Kong, of the film. So, in this film, it's a little bit of getting on this Skull Island to getting off. That's about as much I'll tell you. I don't want to really spoil too much of this film. Give you positive first before I give you negatives of this film. This film, whenever there's King Kong in the film, it is excellently done. You feel like it is a great action-packed film whenever he's doing little action scenes, whether it's beating down helicopters to fighting big-ass monsters. It is very entertaining, and you get your money's worth in that respect. The CGI for the King Kong is very good as well. It has taken the detail on how well he looks, and even this time, he has a lot more blood on him as well, like a lot of fresh scars rather than older scars than the old King Kong had. So, King Kong is always getting to fight. And, that's just the basis around of that film. However, some CGI moments can be a little lackluster, like just simple things like a few CGI explosions to CGI deer running away. It's just a little bit unnatural stuff that just happens, and that could have been designed better and could have been looked a lot better too. So, what I talk about, the music is good. It was another good quality. There were great tracks played while they were going on this expedition to Skull Island. I like that. Some people might have felt like the right kind of track to play, but I felt it was a lot better than, say, example, 50 Shades of Grey, the music they played in this stupid-ass romantic film, but to the people, and why he's king on the island, and why, that people keep him around, and why, and because there's a whole lot of story behind Kong and why he's on the island, and all that. There's a reason why people respect Kong, the people who live on this Skull Island. And yeah, you really feel like there's a nice story behind him, in that he's kind of more than this big ass ape that rules the island. There's a lot more story and backstory to him, which I liked. Some locations were very nice that they shot in. Primarily is a lot of scenes that you see, it does feel like it's been shot into a studio, and kind of feels like, you could have done a little bit more of the locations rather than just studio CGI based work, which I get it. It is hard because they have to do a lot of CGI, but this is a big budgeted film. If you're going to spend that much on CGI, why not spend it on really, really nice looking locations as well? Just saying. Nothing really more positives. The friendships are really nice between the military guys, although this is where it comes to some negatives. Unfortunately, this film, if you're going to watch a film for characters and go, I like that guy, I like that actor, he's really good at portraying a soldier, you don't get much characterization from much of these characters. They're very basic and they're very just simple characters. They're more expendable for like, okay, he's a soldier, oh, see you later, he's dead. So when you watch this film, don't go into it thinking, oh, there's going to be really good characters, and you get to actually feel you really like a lot of these characters. A lot of these characters don't mean shit because they don't have much story behind them. They don't give you too much. Real characters that I felt like had a story behind them was the Samuel L. Jackson character. He was a lieutenant and he was a colonel in many of the Vietnam Army, and he gets very depressed when he knows that he's about to be shipped back home. But then it gets very excited because he gets a call for another job. So he's excited for that. So you can kind of see where he's coming from, that he loves to work in the army. He loves doing this job. That's his lifestyle, and that's where he wants to be. He doesn't want to do anything else other than that. And the characters you might want to get in behind is John C. Reilly's character. His character does try to make a few jokes here and there, and I was a little bit concerned with his character coming into this, although he didn't entirely wreck the film. He didn't try to be too overly funny. Even his expositions of just walking around telling these people about the history of the island is very engaging and very interesting. It made me want to know more about his character and wanting to know more about his story. I liked his character. I wanted more of that. But they all walking in the bush. And it's just like you can see the different groups, like the one group that is found by the villagers, the other group that are still trying to find their fallen comrades. So yeah, that's just it feels like, you know, the film gets lost in character development a lot. And other character that you might be able to get behind is maybe Tom Middleton's character, but his character is still very bland at times. You get maybe one scene of him maybe actually showing a bit more character. His character is very much just like a tracker, and that's all he is. Brie Larson's character is pretty much a Vietnam shooter, and she's just there just taking photos. And they take a time to build a relationship between Kong and her. It's not as strong as the 2005 film. And I might even do a discussion where I talk about both films and which one might have been stronger in both. That's what this film is lacking, is characters. The characters are just boring, bland, and two only interesting characters. And that's about it. And Kong is an interesting character as a monkey because he's just great. Although he walks too much like a human at times, and I feel like you need to show him walking more like a gorilla. Like, I love the 2005 one, how it would just have him walking on his front hands. Yeah, that's right. Instead of walking like a person. Like, you know, they do that, but I'm just saying, like, you know, you need to mix it up a bit more instead of just having him walking like a human. Some of the action can be a bit lackluster. It is just a lot of sometimes failed jump scares to trying to get you to jump out and say, oh god, like, you know, the action is happening, and it just doesn't suit the film. You know, it just doesn't really feel like you need to try and pull a jump scare here and there. Like, you know, you don't have to. Like, even sometimes you'll like look more surprised, like, oh shit, that happened, and rather than like a jump scare, like like you're like, oh shit, look at that. But anyway, there's just some plot holes that I felt like were just a bit stupid in the film. Like, for example, these helicopters in one scene fly through a storm, and there's lightning clearly shown in the background, but no, at one time did the helicopters get struck by lightning. I know that they were trying to do that to say, hey, like, you know, they're trying to show like they got through the storm easy enough because they, you know. Kong Skull Island, it is an okay film if you want to watch King Kong beat the shit out of bigger animals, and some cool action scenes at times, but don't go into this thinking it's going to be the most engaging story and the most engaging characters. You know, there's only two really good characters, and the story itself lacked a lot of just what it did remind me a lot about the Godzilla film, just the pacing of it. But I felt Godzilla had at least a little few more interesting characters in its film, and its action scenes were actually a lot better done. Whereas, like, you know, they're in this, like, it does have points of action. Kong Skull Island a 6.5 out of 10. I'm sorry, guys, it's just not the best film. I was a little bit disappointed going into this, just based on the reviews. It is a good watch. If you want to watch it, rent it on a DVD when it comes out. Don't waste $18 or $16 like at the cinemas, like as you would be spending. $13 if you want to go to Swordtail Cinemas. I recommend that instead. It's not one of those films. It just doesn't hit you as the greatest monster film. I felt Godzilla was a little bit more superior in its respect in the 2014 one rather than this one. So yeah, I'm sorry guys, but 6.5 out of 10. Alright, thank you guys for so much for tuning into Wilso's reviews. I hope you enjoy this review. If you enjoy this review, hit a like on my review. If you are interested in my channel and my content, please subscribe for more. I do like more fans and I do like your guys' opinions. Please, let's make this army grow bigger. Let's show everyone, like, you know, a little time reviewer can become big as well. Thank you guys so much again for tuning in, and stay tuned for more, guys. See ya. Bye.